Hello, everybody. Zong gets 134 here.
But I'm ever sure squad. Batman is here.
That's next episode.
No. Light it up.
Damn it. And welcome to another episode of Remember the Hyphen, the show where we look at comic books, movies, and everything in between. And as always, I'm vexed. But continuing from the last episode we were talking about. So we were talking about like different, because well, you had a certain box set with you, the Alien Trilogy,
and there's another one which I actually found on eBay while he went to go get a drink, which I want to get now, because not only does it have all these three, it has the special edition of Aliens, Alien Resurrection, the Alien Trilogy, and it's got this sweet looking box, with like a silver Xeno on the front of it.
Yeah, no,
and it's only like $9. I'm like, I gotta buy that fucking box.
Yeah, which probably back in the day was like
that was probably
$50.
expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
I think that was actually at Walmart at one point. I probably saw that at Walmart.
Yeah. But basically, we talked a little bit at the end about different movie cuts. And when I say cut, what exactly does that mean? So
you mean the best cut of Apocalypse Now, the 18-hour work cut? Watching the helicopter scene for 6 hours.
We're not watching that. I don't care if you watch that. I would rather watch the 5-hour cut of Watchmen. Not that that's not grounds for you to try and get me to watch the 5-hour cut of Watchmen. I will gladly watch the original theatrical cut.
What about the director's cut of Weekend at Bernie's?
That's not going to be a thing. Stop trying to make it a thing.
But he was at a ball game recently.
Look at me. Okay.
Remember, he was at a ball game. I sent you that picture. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't care that it was a ball game. It's not going to be a thing.
What if he's behind Trump?
Anyway. So what do I mean when I say cut? So, when a movie is made.
With Adobe Final Premiere? Adobe Final Cut.
You're a real piece of shit, you know that?
I'm sorry. You and I are both film guys. We know these jokes.
I know. I do. Okay, so basically, after all the shooting is done, they compile all of the scenes and all the different versions of the scenes, because not every scene is shot from like a couple different angles in case they want to show it a different way. And
they get the score and the sound effects and the overdubbing.
Yeah, and they basically take all of the raw footage and put it into what is known as a rough cut. That is basically all of the footage that you're going to use for your movie. And as he said, they can be pretty long, like 18 hours, because like of all this footage. Although to be fair, I think 18 is kind of I'm pretty sure.
And to be fair, Apocalypse Now took them 2 years to edit.
It took them 2 years to edit. Basically, what you do is you have to cut stuff. Like it's just the fact. It's like when you do an essay and it can only be so long. Sometimes you have to cut some stuff out.
Or they cut stuff for pacing, or they cut stuff because they can't get the desired effect,
or perhaps it has to, like, you have to get this movie under a certain rating.
Or I wanted to replace the fat Scottish dude with a CGI Jabba the Hutt.
Or you're George Lucas, and so you have to trim the fat basically, and that will be what you will see in theaters. That's usually what's known as the theatrical cut. Is the one that you're going to show. However, it's not always necessarily what the director envisions.
Yeah, because a lot of times with theatrical, at that point they're rushing the deadline.
Yeah.
The studio's like, come on, like, gotta get this out. I gotta get my money. Where's my money? I put up $8,000 for this fucking movie. Where's my fucking product?
Yeah, no, that's exactly
right. I got
right.
a Christmas release date to meet.
Yeah, which in my opinion, I certain movies I think they should have realized and just accept that you might have to backburn it, but unfortunately that doesn't work.
As Adam was saying, what will eventually happen is you'll have instances where the director is not happy with the final cut.
Yeah.
And so later, they'll kind of go back to the film and be like, all right, well, let me revisit it and kind of re-edit it. And
to be fair,
usually you'll get director's cuts.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's more of a modern thing thanks to DVDs, because you can digitally put stuff back in and make better effects.
Back in the day on tape, that was a rare thing.
A very rare thing.
But yeah, so that's basically what we're here to talk about today. It's just, differences that you and I are aware of. What cuts we prefer, Since we kind of brought up
Right, yeah,
Alien,
let's-
let's start with Alien first. Now,
To be honest, I don't think the first Alien has that much different from the different. Has a lot of different cuts.
I don't think there even is a director's cut.
Yeah, I think
Alien.
the original Alien.
Which I think the original
really,
Alien is perfect. I mean,
Yeah, no,
no matter how slow the beginning is, like when we went and saw it in
Oh,
theater,
yeah,
you and I
you were
both
almost
were like,
falling
bro,
asleep.
get to the chest burster. I'm
Oh, my
begging
God,
you,
no.
please.
Although to be fair, I think a lot of people should have watched that in order to understand why quarantine is so important.
We'll all die.
We'll all die.
Yeah, why don't we all listen to fucking Ripley? Oh, exactly. But anyway,
No, we gotta be Dallas.
yeah, with the Aliens director's cut, you're gonna have to talk about that a little more because I'm not totally super aware because I must be one of the only people in the fucking world that prefers Alien to Aliens.
I don't think you are, because I think a lot of people
I like the horror elements of Alien better.
To be fair, I just like Aliens more just because I think I think Ripley is more interesting in Aliens.
Game over, man.
Yeah,
Game
you know,
over.
We're gonna
What
have
the fuck
to.
are we gonna do now?
We'll have to nuke the site from orbit.
It's the only way
To
we
be
should.
sure. Okay, so with Aliens, if you remember the end of Alien, Ripley is lost in space.
Like the TV show.
Yeah, except with less Vikings showing
There's
up.
a great fanfic. Let's cross over to Lost in Space with Alien.
Let's
The
not.
people from Lost in Space fighting Xenos.
To be fair, I think there actually is a Star Trek Alien crossover.
Dude, there's fanfic. There's fanfic for everything. We all know this.
But I think like Dark Horse actually did make a Star Trek Alien crossover. I think.
The best Alien crossover, though, is Alien Batman.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, where he's fighting the Xenos.
Oh.
No, yes.
we might have to do that for more November.
Please,
Talk about
please
Bat-
do.
Bat-
I would love to do that.
Because I remember I loaned it to you because I'm like, you gotta see
I need
this.
to read the other two because I only read the first one in it. But
We only need to talk about the first one because the other ones are garbage.
yeah, but still, like, my God, it's fun.
No, I wish that could get made into a movie, Batman Alien. But anyway, so Ripley, Ripley's in hypersleep and she wakes up. What I think is left out of the original director's cut is they don't tell you is that it's been like 50 years since she was in hypersleep. Because, originally in the movie, she worked for Wayland Space Industries.
Wayland Utani.
Yeah.
Back then it was just Wayland.
Wayland.
Actually, it was just the company.
Well, yeah, the
I
company.
mean, they never named it. I think.
Yeah.
Except you and I think when we watched it on the big screen, didn't we notice it said Wayland
Wayland
on
Mining
the
Company.
side?
Yeah.
On the side of it.
I think they don't, but I think you can see Wayland.
Which I think might even be edited.
By that,
in.
yeah, well, they might have even been edited in. I think that might be the only difference. In Aliens, they bring up the fact that Wayland was bought out by this company called, I forget what Utani was originally, but basically they're now known as Wayland Utani. What you don't, and it's not as brought up, is the fact that Ripley is mourning the death of her daughter, because basically it's been like 50 years and her daughter died. She grew up, she had a life, and she died. So Ripley takes the job of going to, that's LV-426, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Of going to LV-426 to deal with the Xenos, is because she literally has nothing left to lose. They actually cut out the fact that like the reason why Ripley is so attached to Newt is really the problem with Aliens. I think there's some other minor stuff. Like I think they add in a little bit more about the various Marines, and there's I think some extra extended fight scenes. But that is the biggest problem with the original cut of Aliens. They don't bring up the whole reason Ripley is so attached to Newt just the moment she meets her, because Newt is basically reminds her of her daughter.
Yeah, and then, like I said, the thing, changes I'm more familiar with the trilogy is Alien 3, because I think the topic of Alien 3 has been done to death.
Yeah, but like to be fair,
like some people hate the theatrical, some people like it.
Yeah,
some people are like me and just don't give a shit because I just don't like the movie.
Yeah,
I don't care what cut it is. There's not a cut of Alien 3
honestly,
I
think you and I both agree. I think
where there's no cut of Alien 3 we like.
We might do the script though, where it takes place on a planet made of wood.
Oh yeah,
the original script, because that script is wild.
You and I need to read that because I'd actually be interested in reading that, because I actually just read some more of the Aliens novels recently. I think I read Alien Genocide, which was a good book.
If you want to read a story where Newt's actually alive, look up the books, because
you and I might need to loan you the books, because honestly, like, they're good.
Fun fact: Aliens almost had a cartoon show back in the day.
Yeah,
it was gonna star Ripley, Newt, and
Hicks.
in Hicks, like fighting the Xenos. Could you imagine a Saturday morning TV show?
We need to do more alien stuff. Like we should
No,
buy
we
some.
really
of the-
do.
We should buy some more of those. We should buy those alien toys at work.
We
could.
We could.
Be fun.
We also need to review Prometheus, just so we can just rip one out.
That would involve me having to watch fucking Prometheus.
I think there's also a theatrical.
We need to review Covenant. Remember?
Oh god,
because neither of us.
I've never even seen Covenant. I've heard people be like, "Do you like Alien?" It's basically Alien. But yeah,
now we're getting a new one. I hear.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Past the pandemic.
Yeah. But getting back to Alien 3, I know a lot of the differences is I think there's a lot of effect shots that are added into Alien 3 because of the fact they just weren't finished.
The intro's different.
I think they flat out tell you that Hicks and Newt are dead, not just showing you or being told that Hicks and Newt are dead. Because of course, I think Newt's actress was too old to explain how she grew, despite the fact that she should have been in stasis.
Yeah, and there were so many problems with Alien 3 making that movie. Because I don't think anybody wanted to make it except the company.
Yeah, the company, the company screwing things up. How ironic. Especially because it's Fox. Let's be honest. But I know they had a bunch of different directors, and to be fair, one of the things we probably will bring up is the fact that like corporate interference did a lot of that too, because they had all these different scripts, and Fox just didn't like any of them.
Because didn't Cameron do Alien 3, or is it somebody else?
No, Cameron did most of Alien 3, I think. They had to get someone else to finish it because basically they kept screwing Cameron around. He I think left partway through. I think that's also why Whedon does Resurrection.
I'm looking to see here.
Yeah, because I
director of photography Alex Thompson.
If you want a better explanation of what happened with Alien 3,
not Cameron, Ridley Scott. That's who did these.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott's not even. Dude, he's not even on here.
I think Cameron wanted to try and they almost tried to get Cameron back though.
Yeah, look at this. He's not even listed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, David Fincher I think was the guy who finished it. Because I know someone else started it and then they got Fincher I think to finish it. But at that point Fincher was a new director and this was just too big of a thing for 8. In a lot of ways, it was like the end of the Clone
What
Saga.
Happened episode about
Alien
3?
I might show it to you after we're done with this because it's
just whack.
No,
I might actually just watch it when I get home, honestly. Yeah. But
there's a little bit too much for us to talk. But basically,
and then Alien Resurrection happens.
And then
and I actually like Resurrection, or I like parts of it.
I just wish Josh Whedon wasn't so Whedon-y.
Yeah. Especially because it's kind of come out that he's kind of a piece of shit. So.
Oh, really? The man who ripped off Gunstar Hero to make Firefly?
Listen, he made Buffy. That's all you got to talk about. Nobody gives a shit about Firefly. Firefly's the show everybody says people like. Everybody says they like Firefly. They don't really. They're just lying.
Yeah.
Firefly's not that good. I'm sure I'm gonna get hate for that. I have never liked Firefly. I've watched the whole
like
thing.
I said,
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of Serenity either.
As someone who knows he openly stole from anime, and people are like, "Oh, it's an homage." I'm like, it's pretty blatantly stealing the premise. In my opinion, if you steal the premise, but yeah. I think we've cut enough of Alien. Do you mind if I talk about one that's really popular?
because I have a couple I'd like to talk about too, but you can go first. Because I brought up Alien first just because I had the box set right in my hand.
I think I've talked to you a lot about the movie Highlander.
Oh God, yes, I know where you're going with this.
So here's a movie that was so bad in theaters they had to re-edit it, and you can only find the original theatrical cut on VHS, which we probably will talk about because there's a certain thing you and I both love.
If I ever find that, I'll buy it for you.
No, okay, so. Highlander, the original Highlander is great. My problem with every sequel after Highlander is you shouldn't have made a sequel. In my opinion, you should have done stories about McLeod's past, like him meeting different immortals all throughout history.
There's a couple series I know that are like that, where it's like, guys, just
Yeah.
fucking stop.
Well, it's like those Disney direct to VHS sequels. Like
Yeah,
no
it's
one
like,
really
guys,
cares what happens after Happily Ever After.
Fucking Balto having like 2 sequels after the second one. It's like, guys, come on.
Isn't one of those all CGI too?
Yes.
Yeah, like
So it's not very. I've never
like,
seen it, but I don't have any.
It's like
urge to.
it's like the last couple Swan Princess sequels.
The only Balto sequel I will recognize is the one where he has a daughter.
I love that this has now become the.
Let's talk about Balto.
Balto.
Hey, let's review Balto for the next for one of our next episodes. I'm down.
Oh god, I could talk to you because apparently that was another studio interference because they didn't want to have Balto talk originally in that. They originally didn't want like that and the wraparound with the grandma and her kid. Those were all things added by the studio to try and make it more like Disney.
Adam, let's talk about live action 101 Dalmatians.
To be honest, I actually like that movie, but
Atlantis.
we can talk about.
Because you know I like Atlantis.
I
like the first one.
I have.
Anyway, getting back to
Getting back to
Highlander, we diverged off.
So they made a sequel. Because, which is weird, because I don't even think, like, I think Highlander wasn't even that popular when it came out. It's more of a cult following.
I've actually never seen it. The most I know about it is the awful Jaguar game.
Yeah.
James
that's
and
for
Mike
the
played.
that's for the cartoon. One of these days we should watch the original Highlander because I think you actually would like Highlander.
I probably would. It's just the movie I never watched.
Also, you guys should watch Highlander. It's awesome and has a soundtrack made by fucking Queen, and it's fucking awesome. It has Sean Connery being a Scottish-sounding ancient Egyptian immortal that's apparently looks Spanish. Yes. But basically, the movie gets made, and for one, it takes place in the future because, like, MacLeod won the prize. Like, the whole point of the original Highlanders is these immortal humans were fighting each other and killing each other until only one of them remained, so they would get this prize, which you find out later on what the prize is. But basically, thanks to the power of the prize, MacLeod worked to try and, make humanity better. Unfortunately, they created this ecological disaster where the entire planet's covered in, like, smog or some stupid bullshit. This movie is notoriously bad, Highlander 2: The Quickening, for a couple things. The worst being that the Immortals are aliens from the planet known as Zeist. If you've ever watched the original Highlander, this makes no sense and doesn't mesh at all what you saw there. And like I said, this is so bad, like you can only find the original theatrical cut of this where it takes place on an alien planet. On the planet... Are you looking for Laserdisc players so we can watch GoldenEye for on Laserdisc?
Yes, keep talking. Pay no attention to me. Are you looking at Spider-Man Rain?
To be fair, this is at least this is at least a little bit cooler than you looking up Spider-Man Rain. But basically,
hey, if you want to pitch in, we could get one for like $100.
We would probably have to
go 50-50.
Yeah, I could probably get you.
We could probably do that. That'd be kind of cool.
I could probably go.
We could split that because that'd actually be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
Probably could find Highlander on Laserdisc.
Actually, you can because I think it is on Laserdisc.
Keep talking.
But you get my point, right? Like it talks about aliens and like they bring Sean Connery's character back to life. That is how desperate this movie is. But like it shows that MacLeod and Ramirez knew each other on a planet known as Zeist. Like this was, yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, but wait, how much is it? Is that $11.99 or $119?
God, my phone is like dying on that.
No, it's $11.99. Oh my gosh. That is kind of worth it.
I might send you the link. Be like, here, buy it. We gotta go get a Laserdisc player now, boys.
So
in other words, Colton and Adam spend money on dumb shit.
Yeah. So basically, this cut of the movie you can only find on VHS. I know because Spoonie did a long time ago did a retrospective on Highlander 2. This is actually probably one of the first times I think in movie history where a fan edit is the actual current way to watch a film over the original theatrical cut. It's known as the Renegade cut. And basically what it does is it tries to say that every time they cut back or talk about Planet Zeist, they're not talking about Planet Zeist. This apparently took place in the past. Despite the fact that anytime they cut to Planet Zeist, you see all this, like, alien technology and shit. Like, do you know any movie where they literally try to pretend what you're seeing is not what you're seeing when they cut it? When they make a new cut?
Yes.
All right, what?
Blair Witch 2.
Yeah.
Specifically with the... this is going to diverge from it. The fucking weird thing about that VHS is that if you rewind it, you'll see clues in it and shit, which I don't even think that is possible to do with the DVD.
No, it's not.
So it's one of those weird things. We might have to do an episode on that, just because I think I have that tape somewhere, and it's fucking weird.
Maybe for that...
Anyway, you were saying about Highlander.
Well, basically what I would... Because, basically the Renegade cut tries to pretend that, the alien stuff doesn't happen. Despite the fact they don't have footage or anything to fix it, they just... Instead of, it's hilarious because, they'll be like...
Pay no attention.
There's a line where the bad guy tells McLeod, you can't go back to the planet Zeist. In the Renegade cut, he says, you can't go back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. Okay, he doesn't say that part, but...
We gotta go back!
To play some shitty games that suck ass? But, it just blows my mind because, again... You can only get the Renegade cut. You cannot get the original theatrical cut of Highlander 2 except on VHS. Speaking of cuts that originally you could get easily, you want to talk about the one you and I always talk about when we bring up uncut and regular cut?
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about Return of the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'll let you lead this.
We actually found my VHS clamshell of the censored cut. So we've talked about this into the ground before.
But we might as well
to just kind of reiterate the plot points. Because if you've watched our show, you're pretty familiar with the fact me and Adam love
Batman Beyond,
love Return of the Joker, love Batman Beyond. But for those who don't know. Or those of you who've been living under a rock.
Yeah, or
actually just don't know about this.
Or didn't exist before 1999.
Well, to be fair, I didn't know about this until 2008. But basically, Return of the Joker got censored upon its release because of Columbine happening. So they kind of toned the violence down and cut all the blood and stuff out of it. Removed any mention of killing or death
and of
stuff out of there. And so that was the original cut.
But there was one thing that was really, really differently edited.
Was the flashback scene where Joker dies. Basically, in the censored cut, and this was the one I grew up watching, was that...
I grew up watching that too. It's just, I kind of remember the uncut more now because I've watched it so much more.
But I remember when that came out watching that, because I loved that flashback scene as a kid. That's probably the most talked about moment in the whole fucking movie.
It is, but to be fair, this is the one that's
It's big.
And it's also the one that's you can find the changes most easily.
Yeah, but so basically, what happens is that in the censored cut, Joker tosses the flag gun to Tim and tells him to shoot Batman. Tim throws the gun away and is fighting against the brainwashing stuff. And he starts fighting with Joker, and they go crashing to the room where he was tortured, and Joker crashes into this tube of water, and it spills out over the floor. Well, he starts walking over to Tim to try to fight him, and he slips, and he catches himself, but he catches himself on an electric.
Yeah, he gets tangled up. He gets tangled up in the wires too.
Yeah, he basically electrocutes himself. To death, which compared to the actual uncut death, where he gets shot.
Yeah, basically
the censor one is almost worse. Really, I mean, because that's not as quick a death.
Just to give you an idea,
I mean, not that the Joker he deserves it, obviously.
Yeah, but the idea that because you don't see it, but you hear the voltage running through his body and the scream is I think what makes it worse.
Because it echoes outside. Remember, because they show Barbara. Which, fun fact, the animation of Barbara walking away from where Harley fell. Yeah. And before she comes running back and throws the doors open, that little bit of animation is not in the uncut version.
No, it's not.
Because they went back and animated that just for the censored one, which I almost would consider that to be like maybe like lost animation because I don't think you can buy the censored cut anymore.
You can, I think, but it's very rare. It's like super.
You probably have
rare.
to go on eBay and just type in censored cut because you can't buy it off Amazon.
Which is kind of funny. It's probably one of the only points we'll talk about where it's harder to get the censored version than it is to get the uncut version.
Whenever me and him are out anywhere and we see the censored one in that clamshell,
we actually try to get it.
We almost always try to buy it just because it's like.
Yeah, like because it's
hard to find this shit anymore.
To give you
especially the original clamshell release.
But to give you some ideas of a couple other big differences in that, there's a lot of censoring of impacts, particularly whenever Batman punches someone in it. There's a scene where basically the Joker's basically the camera rotates
like
around the Batman. Yeah, and basically he's just punching all the Jokers as they come at him.
They add seatbelts in the censored cut, which is just kind of weird.
It was probably just because of the Columbine incident. They were really being very careful about not having parents get upset. There's in the scene
Brave New
World. Oh yeah, this is such a weird one.
putzes in it.
Yeah, because I think it's
putzes and yutzes. I'm like, it's basically the same fucking word. Why that was changed?
I think
I don't know.
I think partially because Yutz is technically a Yiddish thing, and I think they didn't want to make it seem like they were using like an offensive derogatory slur. That's like the only thing that I can think of that would be why they changed that.
Bonk. All right.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Bonk does not die in the censored cut. He gets a dose of Joker toxin.
But then he's never seen again throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, but like to be fair, like in the original animated series, most people didn't die from getting Joker toxin. Usually they were just driven insane, which arguably is worse. Yeah. I think I'd rather just die.
So you sold him to the mob.
I had to. I was broke.
Basically.
But when Terry goes to the Batcave after Joker attacks Bruce in the Batcave, there's this ha 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 spray paint.
Oh yeah, the color's different.
Yeah, it's
pink and red.
It's blood red because I think they were afraid it implied that Joker like beat Batman up and wrote the ha 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 in his blood, despite the fact that
that's pretty fucking in character for him.
Well, then I'm like, it's pretty obvious that it's spray paint. I don't. But in the unedited cut, the edited cut, they colored it to purple, which to be fair, I think kind of works anyways. But another thing in the flashback that a lot of people don't know, in the uncut version, when Barbara and Batman are scouring Gotham for informants, Barbara talks in the edited version. She talks to two people in trench coats and fedoras. In the unedited version, they are prostitutes. One of which specifically looks like Black Canary. You right?
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody talking. So.
Oh.
Anyway, keep going. Probably just hearing shit.
But yeah, that one's one of my favorites, just because those prostitute characters actually come from the new Batman adventures. Specifically the Black Canary prostitute, because Bruce Timm likes to do stuff like that. Oh, and another big one is when Tim figures out that, or Terry figures out that Tim and the Joker are the same person.
I got another one.
Yeah, because Bruce is like,
he trashed the cases. Why was this the only one he went out of his way to destroy? Robin did shoot him. In the censored cut, he says Robin defeated him.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot one of the bigger ones. The scene where Bruce is playing with the batarangs.
Oh yeah, he cuts off the Riddler mannequin.
Yeah,
that's cut out as well.
Yeah, in the censor cut, he just throws it around a couple of stalactites and recatches it, which doesn't really make sense to me why he'd be like, still got it. I'm like, I think those are the only ones I.
Which is also a harken back to the episode where Barbara did that. Remember, Barbara caught one of the batarangs at one point.
Yeah. I don't think there's much more I could talk about the different cuts of that, because I think those are the ones that are really the biggest one. Yeah. Without us talking about like all the different impact shots.
They cut all the blood out of it.
Yeah, they cut out all the blood.
In some places, the editing is really bad.
Yeah.
Because like the biggest scene I always point to with the censorship cut is that the scene after Bruce breaks out of the the bindings that Harley and Joker got him in, he tosses the knife at Joker, and which, you know, Joker ducks,
Yeah.
and it goes through the curtain behind him, and it leaves a hole. In the censored cut, you know, they show Bruce breaking out of it. You still hear the knife going through the curtain,
Yeah.
and the hole is there, but there's no explanation of how the hell it got there.
Yeah, because like it's supposed to be implied that Batman tried to stab Joker through the head. How could we forget the scene where Joker shows him torturing Tim?
Oh god, yeah, because that's edited. And it's so edited that the original version of that you can't get because they didn't animate it.
Yeah. In the original, it just shows Batman watching the footage, and you never see what happened, what he does. Well, they do show a scene where like Robin's tied up to an operating table. In the unedited cut, after they show Robin strapped to the table, they include another scene where Joker he's dressed like, you know, like a cook getting ready to do grill. He opens the grill to pull out these electrified tongs that he puts onto the table and proceeds to shock Tim with. That originally never, I think they did have to reanimate. They had to animate that.
That was edited out.
Yeah.
No, it was done, but they edited it out.
I think I know.
I can hear the music in that when you bringing that up.
Because like
I can hear the fucking music.
Yeah, because they do stings
so
whenever
creepy.
when the electricity goes off.
It's so fucking creepy.
Because I want to say it starts off with them playing like a kind of like an altered version of the Joker's theme from the TV show. The
the only other thing I could think of is that they didn't animate that one scene where Bruce goes to check on the Joker's body and it's like strung up in the rafters and it says "I know" on it.
Yeah.
Which, thank God that's not animated because holy fuck! Because here's the thing, you can still see this on YouTube if you just type in "Return of the Joker deleted scene storyboard."
Yeah.
It will come up because they storyboarded it and the dialogue was done for it. They never animated it, but holy fuck, is it creepy?
Yeah. Although to be fair, it's weird because I, in my opinion, I think the idea is more supposed to be that like the Joker killed somebody and put like a mask on him because they did show his body in the TV show.
I always thought it was supposed to be a skeleton.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like that. To be fair, because it's a storyboard, it's hard to tell what exactly it is. But yeah, fair.
Maybe they're gonna have it that was Bonk.
Okay, yeah, it could have been Bonk. Yeah, those are the cuts that I know the most about. Like I said, there's some other minor ones, mainly just ones that are like impact shots, some of the blood taken out, like the blood coming off the Joker's mouth, some dialogue changes. But like I said, those are like some of them are so minuscule I don't remember them off the top of my head. And like I said, a lot of the it's mostly just in the flashback section because there is some small cuts here and there, but like the flashback section is heavily edited, and to be fair, I get why.
Yeah, but to kind of talk about some other edits, I know a big one that I know of is Blade Runner.
Oh yeah,
because you have the original version, then you have the international version, which is the director's cut, which is the one you can usually get now. If you find it anywhere, it usually is that. Then there's the final cut, which is a re-edit. So like they've re-edited that movie 3 fucking times. It's kind of the same with Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now has 3 cuts as well. You have Apocalypse Now, Redux, and Final Cut. Which, and with these 3, they, as I've always told you, they do something that one-ups them from George Lucas, which is you can still buy the original fucking version of the movie. Yeah. They don't make it that you can't get it because they're like, no, I want you to see the version I want you to see.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott and Francis Ford Coppola, they at least put out the original one still because they're like, okay, you know, people enjoyed this, people dig it, people like it. That way you can still go out and buy it. Like for me, you've never seen it. I have a set that is, it's called Apocalypse Now, the complete dossier.
Yeah.
And it's, this was before Final Cut. I still haven't seen Final Cut. I don't know if I'm going to. I can't watch them cut that movie up again.
Oh, but Coleman, if you watch the Final Cut, it'll make you a pro.
No. God, you with your jokes.
Payback's a bitch, isn't it?
But, the thing with Apocalypse Now, just talking about different cuts real quick, is that Apocalypse Now, is the theatrical cut is to me the best version.
Right.
It's usually the version people have seen.
Right.
I actually remember in a film class I took in high school, we were going to watch Apocalypse, and my teacher was like, this is the version I have. Because I asked her, like, what version of it do you have? She's like, the Redux one? I'm like, I'll bring in the original one, because the original one's better. Yeah, so I brought in the original cut. So like we actually watched the original cut on mine, and it was so long, because here's how the DVD copy, because I had the complete dossier for the DVD and the Blu-ray, and they do this on the Blu-ray still. Actually no, the Blu-ray they have it all on one disc.
Right.
They had both versions of the film. The first half of each film was on the first disc.
Really?
And then the second half of each film was on the second disc.
Huh.
So you still had to get up and switch the DVD. They didn't just put it like Apocalypse Now theatrical was on the first disc and then Redux on the second one. And it had all the deleted scenes and all these commentaries and all this back stuff. On the Blu-ray, I'm pretty sure both versions of the movie are on the same disc, complete. And then you have the second disc, which is just the deleted scenes and the commentaries and the documentaries and shit. The thing with Redux is Redux happened in I want to say in the 90s was when Redux came out. Because basically what they did was they just went back and they re-edited some stuff. They did some sound design. They did some shit they moved some scenes around and they added some stuff in. Yeah. The biggest thing, and I'm not a fan of the scenes they add in except the French plantation scene, because basically, for those who have never seen Apocalypse Now, there's this scene where they go into this fog and they can't see anything, so they stop the boat. And this is after one of the crew gets killed. Mm-hmm. The youngest member of the crew, Mr. Clean. Yeah. Played by a very, very young Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
One of his first movies, I think.
Oh, before he was Cowboy Curtis?
Yeah, he was young as fuck in this. I think he was only like 16.
Oh, wow.
He was young. Like he was really young when he played this. But he had just gotten killed. And so they went into this fog, so they stop it because they can't see anything.
Yeah.
Well, they run across a dock, and they come across what is basically this French plantation.
Right.
Because quick history lesson, those who don't know, Vietnam was originally a French colony called part of French Indochina. Yeah. That was one of the reasons the Vietnam War started, was because the Vietnamese were trying to throw off French rule. There you go. That's why there's a French plantation there. But and so they get off the dock, and they start hearing like people moving and like horns and stuff, and guns cocking. They're like, okay, like are we gonna get ambushed? Is it the Viet Cong? Is it the NVA? And then all of a sudden they turn around and like this fog spreads out, and there's all these French soldiers, And so they go up, and like they give Clean like a burial, like a full military burial, like 21 gun salute, horn and everything. And they have dinner there, and the French guy in charge of the plantation, he talks with Willard, Martin Sheen's character. And he just talks about because Martin Sheen's like, why do you guys stay here? Why don't you guys go back to France? And the guy basically talks about like, no, this is my land. Yeah. I've been here this long, and he basically just goes on a rant where he's basically in Algiers we lose, and he starts talking about all these wars the French have lost since World War II.
Algerian War.
In Vietnam we lose, but he's like, but here we win because this is where we live. Yeah. And he basically talks about how America created the Viet Cong, because they technically did. The Viet Cong funded this. The Viet Cong was originally a group called the Viet Minh. Yeah. It was a group that sprung up during World War II to fight Japanese occupation. We funded them. We trained them. We sent them advisors. Then later on, they became the Viet Cong, and we fought against them. Big history lesson for y'all, flexing that master's degree. But then there's this scene in that same plantation scene where basically Willard he has sex with one of the French women in it, and she basically has this spiel where she's like, they smoke opium. Yeah. Which was actually real opium. Yeah. They actually did do drugs on this movie, so it's pretty real. Yeah. They did a lot of fucked up shit during this movie, but and then she basically is like, they're talking, and it's like, are you a soldier or are you a lover? And she's basically like you're both. And then they get back on the boat and they leave, and as they leave, the French plantation goes back into the fog, and then they get out of the fog. The thing that I've always gotten out of that is that that scene didn't really happen.
Yeah.
Like they like I don't like it was like a ghost.
Yeah.
Or they were imagining shit. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking surreal.
Yeah.
Which I like that scene because I think that scene works with the movie up to that point. Because for those who don't know, Apocalypse Now starts out being a Vietnam War movie. You know, we have the typical Vietnam movie with, you know, the helicopters and the fighting and the guns and the battles. And then we start getting upriver. And the movie, 'cause you've seen it.
Yeah.
It just gets fucking weirder the more they go up the river.
Well,
I think it goes from being a war movie to, I argue, Apocalypse Now is not a fucking war movie.
No.
Apocalypse Now is a movie about just fucking people and the darkness people can go to when pushed. And that's basically what that is.
Originally
the Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, the whole book is about like
it's an adaptation of Joseph Conrad's novella, The Heart of Darkness.
Like basically like what happens to man when he goes to war.
Yeah. What happens to man when he comes to these dark places in the world? You know, it's like, but like I have always argued that scene should have been in the movie from the first day because it is a little slow at points. Like it kind of like, but I always argue it's like an intermission.
Yeah,
it's all this crazy shit going on, but like, and then it's like the insinuation that they're ghosts.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, it works perfect.
Yeah,
because it's kind of like the ghosts of what has happened in that country up to that point, and them seeing it, you know, have that discussion, then they leave, and it's like them being in like a surrealistic world, and then going back to the reality.
Yeah, it almost in a way because like going up different paths of the river, it's almost like kind of like the Mask of the Red Death in a way, where it's you're going through different scenes of things as you know, and as this character who starts off as like this this soldier, and you slowly see what happens to him as he goes through the war trying to find this other guy.
That's the beauty of that movie, and Martin Sheen's beautiful dialogue overdubs, because those originally weren't in the movie. Like that was something they added because they realized, like, to quote Francis Coppola on his commentary for this movie. And I love how we're just gushing. We need to do an episode about Apocalypse where I just gush about Apocalypse Now.
I'd probably let you.
But he basically talked about, he's like, like Martin Sheen had all this wonderful expression, and like, but he's like, he would have all these expressions, but you would never know what he was thinking. Like, what was Willard thinking about this? And so they went back and overdubbed all this dialogue, right? And a lot of it was just Martin Sheen, like, like relaxed and chain smoking, he's got the mic right here. Yeah. And he's just talking, like, like in like a very thread voice. And again, he starts out just being like, I mean, you can tell he's obviously jaded at the beginning of the movie because he's like, he's like, I was married, I did 4 years in Vietnam, then I came back home. I didn't say a word to my wife until I said yes to a divorce, and then like to kind of go with that, like he's looking at a picture of her in bed and then he like puts it up to the cigarette and burns it. Yeah. It's like, but he's still kind of like, you kind of get like, okay, he's been through some shit. That's really what it is. But then, like, to kind of go with, like, how the movie gets weirder and weirder and weirder the more you go up the river. And I'm sure you've noticed, his dialogue gets more and more just, like... Like, he starts out just being, like, like, talking about stuff, like, like the crew, they were young, they were, like... He kind of has fun with them at the beginning, and then it gets to the end, he's just talking about shit, and he's just, like... because there's a scene where basically they get chased by a tiger. Yeah. And Chef is just screaming about like never get off the boat, never get off the boat, never get off the fucking boat. I should have known, never get off the fucking boat. Yeah. And like Martin Sheen is just looking at him, the whole time, and he's then this dialogue comes on, and he's just like, never get off the boat. Absolutely goddamn right. Unless you were going all the way, and then it keeps going, and he's just like, Kurt's got off the boat. He's split from the whole fucking program. Yeah. Like it just, and then by the end of the movie, where he's gonna kill Kurt, he's just like, they were gonna make me a major for this, and I wasn't even in their fucking army anymore. Like it's just like, the movie's a fucking masterpiece. I could gush about it for hours. I'm gonna divert now. That movie is fucking brilliant, but the Redux version, I just don't like it. I don't like the pacing. I think it ruins the pacing of the movie. Yeah. I'm sure there are people that like it. all more power to you. I still haven't seen Final Cut. Maybe I'll watch it sometime.
Was that the one at work we saw? Because I know there's a...
Yes, that's the new one. That's the very new one that came out last year. He went back and redid it again. And he said, this is the final time I'm going to mess with it. I'm like, okay. That's what you said last time, but okay. But,
think he'll add in his daughter from Godfather 3?
oh my God, no, we're going to talk about Godfather. Holy hell, we might talk about Godfather.
No, one of these days you.
I'm going to need to rewatch those because I haven't seen 3 in like a decade and a half. Probably
I think actually has an edit to it too. Actually,
you can get the Coppola restoration at work, and it has all 3.
Well, because I know in the original version of Godfather 3, and forgive me for getting you off topic about this.
This is also about a different cut. So,
the original ending is, his daughter gets killed, and then it smash cuts to him like way older, dying like with that orange at the end. Originally, in between those, there's actually, or I think in the unedited version, there's actually a scene of him dancing with various people, and it's like he's dancing with his wife and his daughter, because like it's implying that I think he even dances with the wife he had in the first Godfather that dies with the car bomb.
Yeah,
like kind of implying that
he's carried them with him. Basically.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people forget like one of the best things about those movies is watching poor Michael just
lose himself.
Because like
he tried so hard not to be in the family business, and he couldn't get away from it.
And in my opinion, 3 kind of doesn't get like his character.
It doesn't drive it home,
especially when because that famous scene where he's like, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Like they needed to and to be fair, I think part of the other problem with Godfather 3 is the fact that it takes place in like the 80s. And like
it's basically fucking Scarface.
Well, yeah, because like you don't care because like
isn't there a director's cut for Scarface?
There's a director's cut for Scarface. I don't know anything about that, but I know
I don't either. I've only ever seen the first one.
Or the video game where he doesn't die. He just gets injured and then wakes up.
The only Scarface game you need to fucking play is GTA Vice City.
No, you're not wrong. don't play the Scarface game.
Just play Vice City.
Like, 'cause it's so dumb.
What is that? The world is not enough or something like that.
It is. I think Scarface.
Sounding it's a fucking Bond game.
Yeah. Well, because real quick, because we haven't talked about really any superhero cuts.
Want to talk about Watchmen? No, 5 hour.
Well, I was actually going to more talk about the fact the Daredevil cut.
Oh yeah. Good. That's a good one.
I've never actually seen the director's cut of Daredevil.
It's the only one it's the one I have. Remember, I have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the original cut of it. That movie actually, because I think originally Kevin Smith did that movie, right? Or he helped.
He was involved with it.
He was involved with it because I think he wrote the script.
Without looking at the info in front of me.
That's a movie where basically executive meddling just screwed with that movie because I think basically what happened is they wanted to make a more a dark Daredevil film because Daredevil is dark no matter how goofy he is or fights ninjas. To be fair, there's a lot of darkness to Daredevil. They added in a lot of things that, in my opinion, tries to make the movie like Spider-Man. Would you agree?
Yes.
Like the CGI shot of him climbing up a wall. The fact that like they
everybody was chasing Raimi so hard at that point.
The soundtrack that had like Nickelback and Evanescence.
Wake me up! Wake me up!
To be fair, in my opinion,
cutting the sandbags and shit.
Oh my god! That scene is so stupid.
I want a director's cut of Elektra.
God, we're gonna have to watch Elektra at some point. Can we watch Daredevil before we watch Elektra, though?
Listen,
please?
I'm gonna buy the novel for Elektra.
Thank you.
Because there is a novel for it.
I don't know a lot. I know one thing that a lot of people don't like in the movie that's cut out. The scene where him and Elektra have sex, they actually, I think, edited a bit because like basically he hears someone calling out for help as in the original cut of that, he literally decides to let that person get mugged or something.
Because he's fucking Elektra.
Yeah, basically. And I think the director's cut actually takes that out. I know there's a few others because I think they reshuffle some scenes around and they put in some deleted scenes, but basically they fix the movie so it's less 2003-ish basically. Because I know a lot of people who tell me the director's cut of Daredevil is way better than the original version.
Another director's cut I know of is The Patriot has a director's cut.
Oh yeah.
That's actually the one I have. I have it on Blu-ray.
I don't think I've seen the director. I've seen the original.
It doesn't add much. It just adds in some random. I've seen that movie 1,000 times, so I know where the fucking cuts, the new scenes are added in. It doesn't add much.
Who could forget that scene where Mel Gibson sword fights a dude with a bayonet?
Listen, that's fucking possible. Stop making fun of that. That is possible.
I know it is, but it's
It's an act of desperation. He's got nothing but the bayonet.
I know. It just looks dumb. I'm sorry.
No, I know it does, but I'm trying to think other director's cuts I know. Thank God Titanic doesn't have a director's cut.
Oh God. The
Make
movie's
it-
already so long.
make
Could
it
you imagine?
4 hours.
Oh my God. I think Avatar has a director's cut.
Fun fact: the movie Titanic is longer than it took the actual boat to sink. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean,
Yeah,
I know a
but-
guy. I know a guy that could confirm or deny that.
As I say, you show me the telegram thing, so I think it has timestamps.
It does.
So I think because
I could go back and look
I
at
think
it.
it took like what, an hour for it to sink?
More than that.
Oh,
A couple,
okay.
2-3 hours.
Oh, I did
So
not
I
know
think
that.
I think it is long. I think it is slightly longer.
Than the
I'm gonna look it up.
I mean, to be fair, part of that movie is them sailing before they hit the thing. So,
Hold on.
actually, do you care if I do a cut I know of, because I'm looking at
Is
my
Titanic a true story? Fuck you, people. God damn it.
So, do you care if I go on a
Yeah,
one
go
real quick?
ahead.
Okay. So, a lot of people don't know, and to be fair, this is going into
Oh, sorry, not to interrupt. The film, minus the present day scenes and the credits, runs 2 hours and 40 minutes. The exact time it took for the Titanic to go down in the frigid waters.
no shit.
The exact same. James Cameron knows what he's doing.
Okay, so
Because listen, he has more time at that boat than anybody else in the fucking world. He knew what he was doing. I respect him for it.
that's why I love the South Park joke where they talk about like him like exploring like the tune they make about James Cameron exploring the depths. No, James Cameron. But there's two things I want, and they're both anime related, and I know you probably know both of them. The first one I want to talk about is the Pokemon first movie, because fun fact, there's a lot of stuff that is not only edited out, but only in audio dramas and radio stuff. No, follow me here. There's actually the original cut you see from that 4Kids did. They did cut out some things, like just like some violence and such, and like they
Typical
typical
stuff they cut
4Kids,
out.
yeah. And like there was an audio drama that actually explained Mewtwo's birth.
Oh, the thing they put the beginning of the VHS tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where explain. Yeah, I know what you're talking
You know, the
about.
part with the little girl and the clone the clone Pokemon that they
We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon.
yeah.
And we succeeded.
But for those of you at home, that was originally an audio drama that they animated because I think they ran out of time when they first made the film. But long story short, after making a clone of Mewtwo, because basically the doctor in that, which is in the game known as Dr. Fuji, the whole reason he worked with Team Rocket was because he wanted to make a cloning device that he could use to bring his daughter back to life, because she, I think, died in a car accident or something like that. And while doing so, he wanted to make clones to prove to Team Rocket that he could make stuff. He made a clone of his daughter, a clone of Mewtwo, and a clone of each of the starter Pokemon in the Kanto region. And basically you get this scene where like they're basically like they're in these pods, but like they could, like, thanks to Mewtwo's psychic powers, they live in like this weird psychic world. But basically there's a scene where basically all of the Pokemon and the little girl start fading out because basically their cloning process failed. And Mewtwo like basically remembers that. It's actually one of the reasons why like when cut out, Mewtwo's story doesn't really make a lot of sense, why he's so
jaded and angry.
What they also don't tell you is that Dr. Fuji actually erases Mewtwo's memories. It's kind of implied that even though his memories were erased, that he still has fragments of it. Hence why like the Charizard, the Ivysaur, and the Blastoise he makes has the markings that those clones had. But yeah, like another fun fact, and this is actually not, but a lot of people know this. You know how they like it shows them getting the fossilized eyelash of Mew, and that's what they use to make the DNA from Mewtwo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm putting up a list of director's cuts.
No worries.
So we have others to talk about.
That the person who got that eyelash was actually Jessie's mom. Jessie's mom was originally a member of Team Rocket, and she actually, like, the reason that Giovanni hires Jessie is because she, like, her mother was like one of his most valued members.
Mm-hmm.
She gets lost in the Brazilian mountains, because this is back when Pokemon still took place on regular Earth. She's actually still to this day in the anime hunting for Mew, because Giovanni wanted a Mew, and that's actually implied like that. Like that's why he keeps Jessie around. Like it's actually crazy how much is different. The only other one, just before we continue with your list here, is the Digimon movie, and that's mostly because
I've heard you rant about this.
Okay, so basically, in order to compete with the Pokemon first movie, which the other competitor at the time was Digimon. Digimon didn't have a movie until the second series with this. So, in order to make this movie work, they actually took the OVA that they originally made that became the pilot for the series, which is the beginning part with Tai and Kairi playing with the Koromon, and then it fights the Parrotmon. The other OVA, which takes place at the end of Digimon Adventure 01, which is known as Our War Game, which is a parody of war games, hence why Apocalypse, because in the Japanese version, Diaboromon, or as he's known in the Japanese, Diablomon, he actually will occasionally type on the screen, "Would you like to play a game?" Which is a reference, of course, to war games.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a game? And then these movies have no references to each other. They actually had to splice it and add in dialogue. Like, you know the part where Kairi makes Agumon Digivolve by playing the whistle?
Barely, because you gotta remember, I haven't seen this movie since 2005.
Okay, but they actually bring up the whistle thing in the Fox Kids movie, because like Ty's like, "I don't have a whistle to wake you up, Greymon, but I need you to wake up." That was not in the movie. They never bring up the pilot. I mean, granted, the pilot is canon because that's actually the heightened Huteris incident they bring up in Digimon. But these two movies have nothing to do with the second film. And it's hilarious because the original Digidestin don't show up after the second movie. They actually did show up in the second film, because the whole reason the cast of the second series comes to America is because the other Digidestin get captured by the bad guy of that film and turned into children. But like, they literally had to basically cut and sew these movies together to make a coherent film. And not only that, the biggest sin of this film is that if you ever buy the fucking thing, you have to watch the fucking Angela Anaconda short, despite the fact you don't even really want to watch the Angela Anaconda short. It's actually stapled on. It's bullshit.
So this is why I don't watch fucking anime shit with any of you people.
Yeah.
Because you fuckers get angry about all this shit, and I'm like, I don't have time for this.
It's more like, if you watch really old anime stuff,
No,
like nowadays, anime is not nearly as butchered as it is, but
sorry, not to interrupt.
no, of course.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done for the most part. Especially because we're kind of, I want to kind of move along.
Just looking through this list, the one that really stood out to me, and I'm kind of kicking myself I didn't think of this, is the fucking director's cut of Underworld.
Oh yeah,
is so much better than the normal one. Like,
yeah,
it's longer, but here's the thing: it adds in so much more backstory and stuff. And the thing with Underworld is, like, I have a very up and down relationship with Underworld.
Yeah,
the first one is the best one out of all of them. Yeah. Evolution is okay. I fucking hate Rise of the Lycans. I must be one of the only people in the fucking world to not like Rise of the Lycans. I just don't give a shit about it. Because I like Celine.
yeah.
Her story is the fucking movie.
Yeah, because doesn't the later ones they get rid of Celine because like her actress was pregnant at the time, so they had to.
Yeah, well, and then you have Awakening, which I actually went and saw in the theater when it came out. I remember going to see that movie. I was glad they recapped everything because I haven't seen the second and third one forever. I need to recap on what was going on in these movies. Because I only remembered the first one, really. But Awakening, they added that she has a daughter with Michael, and it's in the future! We do a time jump.
Yeah.
And then there's Blood Wars, which I still haven't watched. I think my copy of it is still sealed. I haven't watched it, because I'm just like, I heard so many bad things about it compared to Awakening. Because Awakening got kind of panned, too, when it came out. Which I think they're finally done with Underworld now at this point.
No, I think they are, because I think that franchise has
it got killed basically.
Yeah, it kind of went the same way as like Resident Evil, where they just kept trying to make more, and they just kept just going down. Actually,
There's a director's cut of Elektra? Excuse me?
who the hell liked Elektra enough to make a
Really,
fucking
no amount of re-editing can
save this movie? They don't even tell you what. Oh my god! Especially because we haven't seen that.
How have we not talked about this one too? Superman 2.
Oh yeah, the Donner cut.
How did we not talk about this? Or the TV edit of well, I mean, we kind of did.
We did kind of talk about
the Donner cut.
Let's just do the Donner cut for now because we're
running a little time. I'm just kind of looking through the list, see what other ones we can talk about.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But let's do the Donner cut. So, and to be fair, I think I only know the differences because I don't think I've seen the Donner cut. I think I've only seen the original theatrical cut of Superman 2. But basically, if I remember correctly, Richard Donner was locked out of the editing process for.
Basically, what happened was, from what I've read, and
which is never a good sign when you hear about a film that the director is removed from the editing process.
Well, here's the thing. The issue with that is initially they shot Superman 1 and 2 concurrently. They were filming both at the same time.
Which is why, like, the scenes for Zod are playing the newer cut of Superman 1.
They quickly got behind schedule.
Yeah.
And they were burning money like it was nobody's fucking business.
Yeah.
To the point that they were like, guys, let's get the first one done and get it released. Then we can come back. And I mean, they had shot a good deal of 2. So then they came back and they worked on it some more. Well, even near the end of the first one, there was starting to be personality conflicts with Richard Donner and the backers for the movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember their names. I'm sorry. Offhand I don't remember it. But to the point that even during the first one there were rumors that he was going to get fired.
Yeah.
Well, then they came back and made the second one. Well, then there was a lot of personality conflicts. So then they put Richard Lester on as a second director. Yeah. Which is never fucking good.
No, that's never good either.
And so it eventually got to the point where he left, Donner left. Well, the thing that is shitty about this is that it basically caused a divide in the crew's camp, cast and crew camp. Half of them were with Donner. Yeah. And then half were with Lester. It was to the point that the only actor in the movie that promoted it and did promotion tours and stuff for this movie was the girl that plays the female companion to Zod. She was the only fucking one. None of the other ones did. Reeves didn't do it. Margaret Kidder didn't do it. Actually, it's arguable that Margaret Kidder was so vocal about, like, it was so stupid they removed.
That's why she's not in Superman 3.
Yeah, they did that as basically like, okay, you want to badmouth us, we're gonna write you the fuck out then, because you're gonna sit here and badmouth us.
Which, I mean, as much as I hate that,
which is very petty.
Which is very petty, but to be fair, we at least got to see Lana Lang in the third film, even though, and it's like the only good thing about the third film.
Too, it also kind of contributed to Margaret Kidder's mental stuff, which is extremely shitty and awful,
and very depressing. And that's also the only edit cuts we have with the Superman franchise for a long time.
3 and 4 don't have any.
No, 4 does have a cut. Remember, because there's the Nuclear Man's the second.
But there's no director's cut that has all that. Remember, it's all just other footage.
Well, what I was going to say is there technically is the comic adaptation of Superman 4.
Oh yeah, the comic adds it all.
That's actually how everyone knew about the fact that there's all this lost footage. Because of them doing the scene with the first Nuclear Man, and I think technically there is. I think later on someone did a director's cut of 4. Metropolis.
I don't know if that counts though, because that wasn't a director's cut, and also a lot of that was because of lost footage. I'm just kind of rolling through here looking.
But yeah, to give you an idea of the differences in Superman 2, I think in Superman 2 he does the turn back time by spinning the Earth again. There's that. I think there's a scene where he talks to the president that's not in the film. And of course, I think I
didn't know there was a director's cut of Casualties of War, and I don't really know if I want to watch that, because that movie is hard to sit through. That one with Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn. Oh yeah, that movie is hard to sit through.
Speaking of a movie that I don't really like, but I know that there's a director's cut of that's actually slightly the Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Oh my God, is that a movie where it literally splices Volume 1 and 2 together?
I think so. Because Kill Bill is basically the same movie. They just slice that shit.
I know the movie Whiplash has a different ending with the director's cut, which One of these days we should watch Whiplash because I hate that movie, but I would love to tear it down for like cathartically. Like I hate that movie so much. But real quick,
Alternate versions of film.
why don't
Holy fuck. Alien 3 Assembly Cut, Apocalypse Now, Batman v Superman. I'm not talking about that movie.
why don't we save this because we could probably come back and do another of this.
I'm just looking through here real quick just to see if there's anything that we haven't touched on that you and I would have stuff for. Star Trek motion picture.
The Thief and the Cobbler. Oh, one of these days I want to talk about the Thief and the Cobbler on here because the story about the Thief and the Cobbler is crazy.
X-Men Days of Future Past, the Rogue cut adds Rogue back into Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Which I have that on Blu-ray, actually. That was actually the first version that I bought. I didn't even have the normal one until I bought that, and I was like, I need to get it. Snyder Cut? We're not talking about it's not out yet. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. It's still going to be a fucking shitty movie.
Because we're probably going to have to watch Justice League, or both Justice League and the Snyder Cut at some point. But why don't we, because we've been talking a while, let's wrap up with just one more movie to talk about. And this, of course, I think the one we've been joking about a lot, the Watchmen 5-hour cut.
Yeah, this is a joke with us, is that that's the only version of that movie I own. I have the steelbook of it, and I keep telling him we need to watch the 5-hour cut and review it, because reviewing Watchmen is one of those things that we've kind of kicked around because him and me both like the book.
We will do the book, but the thing is, we want to get Doug in on it because Doug wants to read it, and I think it'll be interesting to have a fresh aspect on it.
Yeah, I think Doug would have a lot to bring to the table if he were to read it. But it's the film is probably just as polarizing as the TV show is to the fan base because some people like it, some people don't.
Without getting into like the plot. Overall, I do enjoy the original theatrical cut up until the ending. In my opinion, the ending is what ruins that film for me.
Well, you know me. I don't like it when... I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. I'm not opposed to adaptations having changes in it because some of the best adaptations I've watched have good changes. I don't think them changing the Watchmen ending was a good thing.
That's exactly what I would...
It doesn't come off very well.
Yeah, and knowing the politics that this movie has...
came out...
the ending doesn't make sense. The theatrical ending. Which, even then, the 5-hour cut doesn't fix the ending, unfortunately.
No. The 5-hour cut adds in all the Black Frigate shit in the middle.
No, because basically...
That's the intermission. That's where you get up and go get a beer.
Basically, you know the book... Well, basically, they put back stuff in that, in my opinion, and you can feel free to disagree with me, was taken out because a movie needs to be only a certain length. In my opinion, 3 hours is the limit.
The best explanation for it I've always seen is that Zack Snyder adapted it a little too fucking close.
Yeah, that I actually argue that is, and I think they actually did make him really pare it down when they originally released it in theaters, which is why people don't like it as much.
I remember all the hype when that movie came out too, and I remember because when I watched it originally, I actually watched the movie before I read the book. I remember everybody being hype about Watchmen, Watchmen. It's so I watched it on HBO one night, and I was like, I don't fucking like this.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't get it. I was too young to get it, I guess.
Well, and then to be fair, once you read the book, you're either going to be like, well, this isn't bad, like me. Like
the shit I've seen from it, I like.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Colton watches a movie and takes away something good from it all the time.
Yeah.
Except if it's like fucking...
I think
something really dumb.
Yeah. I think the acting's really good. I think all the actors for it are...
The costume design's great.
Well, I will admit, I think Laurie's actress is kind of not really fit for... I don't know. There's something wooden about her acting in that movie. And I don't know if it's because of... you
don't know if they Anakin'd her?
Yeah. But, to give you an idea, basically... It puts in a lot more stuff from the book. And one thing that they did was, when this movie originally came out, they released an animated film to go with it, known as Tales of the Black Frigate. Basically, at one point during the story, I forget which issue it is, but basically, there's this person reading a comic book in the comic called Tales of the Black Frigate. The story basically is supposed to be talking about another character's motivations. It's basically supposed to parallel this other character and why he's doing the things that he's doing. And to be fair, when I read the book, a lot of times when I read the Black Frigate, I kind of skip it. Like, I know people like the Black Frigate.
To be fair, when I read it the first time, I even remember, I think I told you, but I was like, dude, I'm reading that Black Frigate shit, but bro, holy fuck, I don't care.
No, like, and to be honest, I know people that really love that part. I just can't do it. And knowing that the movie decides, hey, let's just take the Black Frigate animated short and just stuff it back in. I'm like, no. Like, that was a thing that made sense to cut out. It adds nothing. It's so... And it doesn't even get finished. The whole plot of that in the book is that the author doesn't finish it because the ending's too dark. Like, you actually have to read, like, notes at the end of the book. God. But, like, there's that. I think there's a couple of scenes that I think were more like, you know, scenes that transition you from one scene to the next that they had to put back in.
Yeah.
But sometime we will probably... Because I think what we'll do is we'll do the book as a review.
We'll do
first,
the book, and then
we'll
jump to the movie.
Yeah, which...
Maybe we'll do the TV show. I would have to buy it, and
Yeah.
I'm just not really interested in watching it.
And if we can... I guess if we could find a cheap copy of Before Watchmen, we might do it, but...
I'm not paying full price for that.
Same. If we find it cheap...
We find it at, like, Action Toy Man, we'll pick it up.
Cheap, but, like... Don't expect us to read Before Watchmen anytime soon. Unless somebody wants to donate it for us.
Yeah, if you guys want to donate it, like, send it to us, like, or message us, and we'll
if you want to return,
we'll give you an
leave
address.
If you want to return it, we'll return it back to you in pristine condition. If there's anybody who loves books, it's these two motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if somebody wants to donate it or loan it to us, we'll read it. But it's like I just don't want to buy it.
But to kind of close out this, because I think we will come back and do another round of us talking about cuts, because there's a lot to talk about with edits.
Yeah, I mean, you saw me getting on a tangent about Apocalypse, so.
Like, we didn't even go into the fact that there are TV edits of movies either, but we will. I think we will do that sometime down the road.
Some of which you can buy, like Superman. You can get the 3-hour
some
TV
of
cut now. I have it.
But, you know, because, like, it's interesting to see all these cuts, especially some of them that, like, are so much better. Like, it replaces the older, which I find a shame, because I actually would like to have multiple cuts so that I can talk about, like, all the different variations and maybe even, like, have multiple copies of. Like, because him and I both have, I think, several copies of Return of the Joker. Like, both. Yeah. But,
I've got my pirated copy. I've got my Blu-ray. I've got my DVD. I got my VHS. I have somewhere. I don't know if I still have it. I have a version taped off TV because I taped it.
Because fun fact, I learned about the edits, but in the flashback, because someone put the Hong Kong version of it on, because, like, it has, like,
that's how I found out about it. It was on YouTube. I remember it had Hong Kong subtitles on it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, because I was like, one day I was like, let's watch Return of the Joker. Like, I pulled up my phone and I was like, uncut. I'm like, what the fuck you mean there's an uncut version of this?
I know.
And so my buddy Brian had never heard of it either. So I'm like, hold on. So we click on it and I watch it. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, where can I buy this?
Yeah, which thankfully, because, like, Warner Brothers was like
there was a petition to get it released.
And now it's the definitive version. You can't even find the censored cut except on VHS.
Yeah, it's
and early DVD releases.
Because remember, when I bought Batman Beyond Complete Series, Return of the Joker's in it. It's uncut.
Yeah.
Remember that 3-movie bargain bin bullshit I bought uncut.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find the censored one out in the wild, really, unless you get real lucky.
But thankfully on YouTube, if you really want to know the differences,
there's comparison videos where they play them side by side.
It's one of the most heavily known cuts, I think, of any.
You can actually watch the whole movie on YouTube because they've uploaded it in fragments.
Yeah.
But, like, it's basically the whole movie.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed us talking about the different cuts of movies, because I always love talking about that, because it's one of my favorite subjects to talk about as someone who knows, like, different cuts and how easy to, like, I didn't even get into the fact that there's 2 versions of Dragon Ball Z Cooler's Revenge, one of which I own on VHS, that all the music is replaced with Disturbed. Music by Disturbed.
Jesus.
I actually think that VHS might be actually worth money because of the fact that it's the only version of that. I might actually look that up before we leave. But
Yeah, and if we do different cuts next time, we didn't even dive into fan cuts.
we're probably also gonna have to talk about the Star Wars cuts too. That might have to be its own movie.
Yeah, because I can bring those in. I have those.
Actually, no, we're probably gonna just have to do Star Wars. Actually, we could talk about the fan edit of that too. The Phantom edit, the edit of Episode 1.
I'd have to rewatch it, but yeah, one of these days we're gonna have to do more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
But
anyway, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. If you want, leave in the comments some of your favorite cuts of films or ones you'd like us to talk about, and maybe we'll check them out. But until then, guys, as always, I'm Zongetsu134,
and I'm Average Joe Squad,
and we always ask you
to remember the hyphen and take care.
I burped.